Hello everybody, and I guess I can also hear Ultimate Sketching Creations, and today we're back in Half-Life 2 Episode 2, where I just want to say, wow, you guys are crazy. Just over a week ago, I put up a new Source Engine meme video entitled Half-Life 2, but G-Man Won't Leave Me Alone, which showcases an altered version of Black Mesa East in Half-Life 2, where the G-Man is constantly pursuing the player throughout the level. It was just a dumb little idea I had at 4 in the morning one day, and a few days later I built the idea, and then also recorded it in the morning when I should have probably gotten to sleep instead. And apparently you guys just love the idea. The video just blew up, and around the time of recording this video, it's got upwards of 21,000 views, literally giving the last meme video, the triple laser one, a run for its figurative money. So I thought I'd make an archives video to talk about this one for a bit. Fair warning, if you prefer to leave your immersion intact, I advise you to skip over this one, as I will be going into the technical details. Otherwise, do continue watching. So as you can see here, I'm outside of Black Mesa East. Now, a question several people had is that I will address right away is that I'm not actually in Half-Life 2. I'm in Episode 2 instead, because that's the branch of hammer I've been using for all my maps in the past several years. It's where I've made my little home of map making. So that does cause some discrepancies I'll point out when they happen. But the foremost notable one is if I pause, yes, it shows the Episode 2 logo, and when I get disconnected by G-Man, it goes to the Episode 2 title screen. It also has a separate flashlight meter at the bottom of the screen. These edge differences don't affect too much, but they're still noticeable, so I won't try to lampshade them. Now let's get back to talking about the map. I've started here by the pier, because this right here is where the map actually spawns you by default if you load the map directly. But for the video, I had to fix that, since you only enter this map by falling through a level load trigger over there while on the airboat. So, unbeknownst to you, just before the video started, there had to be a bit of setup. So if I walk over here, and I press the E key on this leg of this pylon, it teleports both the player and the airboat onto a temporary platform, right around where the map would normally start. And I just get in the airboat, and drive it right off. Yes, it does mean the platform is still there, as you can see it. It does appear a bit later. So I cut the footage, you wouldn't know anything was off. But now you do know. So immersion ruined, yay! Anyways, I also had to delay the music in this map, as normally it starts as soon as you spawn in. I had to relegate it to a trigger in front of the starting zone, right around here. Small detail, but done for consistency. As I drive to Black Mesa East, a few of you may have noticed, there's a little white reflection in the water. There is a bit of a spoiler for what's about to happen, but I can't prevent it without moving stuff. That's just how water reflections work in Source. So I just drive up to the base as normal, smash, do-de-do, and then suddenly...
Time, Dr. Freeman?
There's our favorite intergalactic businessman, coming out of a magic white door, like he's known to do. Some of you have asked how I coded this, and, well, I didn't. I've actually modified a copy of the Black Mesa East map, so there's generally just a door just carved into the side of the building there. Not that magical in respect. But now let's shift our focus into G-Man himself. As you can see, yes, he is following me. Slowly. Constantly. The way I did this is simple. This is not actually G-Man. This is a modified citizen that has been given G-Man's model, and he also set his facial expression to be constantly angry, just for that extra effect. Until he's able to follow you, as he's just a citizen using the citizen AI. However, there is a small problem here. He actually can't keep up with you if you keep running. For some reason, in Episode 2, Valve felt it necessary to remove his running animations. He has them in base Half-Life 2, just not Episode 2. Unsure why they did that, but because of that, he is incapable of moving faster than this. Were I to make this an actual Half-Life 2, he would be able to run after you. In fact, I don't think I could stop him from just only running at you at that point, because again, citizen code. So for the video, I actually had to stop every now and then to let him catch up. And there are a few extra failsafes in place as well. Those are also rendered unhelpful if you keep running. Before we get into that, though, let's address the other elephant in the room. You letting get too close to you. This happens. The screen gets procedurally darker until you can't see. This is actually a custom screen overlay I created mostly for this single purpose, and there's probably not many uses for it elsewhere. The screen gets darker every half second until it's completely dark, and then walking out of his range causes the darkness to revert at twice the rate it took to set in. I actually set it so that the disconnection part doesn't happen until the end of the map, just so the video progression wouldn't get all messed up. But were to expand on this, it would disconnect you if it happened at all. And it was moving forward. So if I just walk up here, this little barrel choke point, and as you can see, when he gets here, it's gotta wait a second. He's walking very slowly. How did he get stuck? He gets stuck. See, this is what I'm talking about. Excuse me, sir. I'm right here. Yeah, there you go. Goes this little barrel choke point. As you can see, once he gets here, G-Man launches the barrels out of his way to keep pursuit of the player. That was actually done because it can generally get stuck on them. So there's a contextual trigger for the player is standing behind the barrels and G-Man's on the ramp on the other side. This event triggers. You could actually leave him behind here if you wanted. In an attempt to help his AI calculations, I placed extra ground nodes in the map, and I also sliced out a bit of this wall right here in an attempt to increase his visibility range. You can't see it here, but I will elaborate later. And then if you approach the airlock, let's get these barrels out of the way. Standing right here. As soon as you enter the zone, G-Man just kind of gives up and walks through another door. I didn't show that in the video, but another door light does show up right here. Magical tricks. And as well, it may seem that you were safe and alone again, but I didn't change anything with the entry airlock sequence. Let me just skip ahead.
I'll take you down to Eli right away. He would never forgive me if I kept you waiting.
So here we are with Mossman, in her episode 2 jacket, because we're in episode 2. Her model just has that on by default due to the Borealis cutscene, so I can't change that easily.
You could certainly use the extra help around here.
You walk forward a little bit, and oop, there he is again. There's our favorite G, coming out of a pre-established yet locked door. Besides, I think they're just existing doors I can use for this. Now, some of you may be wondering, can you go back there? And well, the answer is no. Valve already put a player clip brush on this fence. They just really don't want the player getting back there by any regular means.
Hurry up, Dr. Freeman.
Now, this next bit required a bit of changing to not be too awkward. You see, normally when you follow Mossman through this door, it closes behind you.
We're closing in on
It'll lock you in a small space as you monologues about sciencey stuff. Multiple problems there. One, you could potentially lock G-Man out, and two, if you don't, then you have to maneuver around him in this very small space until the lift arrives. So I had to just keep the door open for this entire sequence. The door just stays open. Next change, though, is normally this door closes when Mossman presses the elevator button, but I changed it so that it closes as soon as you enter the lift from this point in. Out of the point, G-Man stands in front of the door and just tries to get into you. Get into the lift, but he can't, so he gets left behind. Or does he? I did a little joke where he appears on each of the levels. But for some reason the Vortigon back there gets desynced from his animation sometimes. I don't know why that happens. He appears on each floor right there. Someone said I should put a chef hat on him when he's in the kitchen. Yeah, I could do that. I did a similar thing to that back in my Beacon Mental Asylum map, the new version. You just walk into here. Here he is again. The door is centered underneath this light, which is nice. So now G-Man appears in the lab. Some people are wondering why Eli is not noticing G-Man freaking out. Let's just say that Gordon is the only one who can see G-Man. Gordon's the only one who can see him. It's a little freaky thing. It's like the people compare it to the movie It Follows, and you're like, yeah, I thought of that too when I was making this. So then there's this long scene right here, which I cut out bits of in the video, but you just have to like maneuver around G-Man for a long time in this one room.
Let me just finish up some work and I'll see what I can dig up.
So I followed Mossman into the back room in the video, but you don't have to follow her. I just did that for theatrics. So yeah, G-Man just follows you around. It's just several minutes of you just awkwardly walking around, trying to avoid him. Like I said, it's not an immediate threat right now. Like I could just stand here and let it get dark because he won't disconnect me yet. Yeah, I'm just here chilling. A sequences like this would be awkward if I went in full expansion, just like just walking around him. I don't know, maybe make it like a distraction. I don't know, whatever you do. So by the way, this ladder is weird. I'll actually get back to that later. Here's Alex.
Oh, Gordon.
Anyways, Alex goes off to do her work. There's a little extra thing here that very few people have noticed, but Alex pulls out her gnome right here. G-Man let her keep it after Half-Life Alex.
Take a look at this, Gordon.
She's looking at it, wondering why she keeps it in her pocket all the time. I did that because for some reason this ladder doesn't work properly in episode 2. Like this is not a regular prop dynamic, it's a special furniture entity. I guess the animation for it does not exist. And Alex's animations with it do not exist in episode 2, so it just doesn't work. So I made her equip the gnome instead. This little background thing. And it's a fun little detail is that during the testing this map, just waiting for the cutscene to pass by and repeat compiles, I would just stand up here. Because G-Man can't reach you up here. You get stuck.
Alex, I thought you were on watch. The Vortiguns relieved me so I could come see Gordon.
And give him some practice with the gravity gun.
Sure.
So anyways, after that long exchange, you can finally follow Alex out of the room. This little trigger right here. G-Man stands in front of the door. Nope. You ain't following me, buddy.
I see you met Dr. Mossman. She's one of the main reasons I spend so much time outside.
And there he is again.
You should hear her drone on about how it should have been her in the Black Mesa test chamber that day.
Yeah, it should have been her.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking behind her back. It just gets a bit claustrophobic down here.
By the way, there is only one G-Man. I don't spawn multiple, it's just the one G-Man throughout the entire map. He's just teleported around all the time. If I stand close to him here, it does still do the thing. Just walk over here.
That's the old passage to Ravenholm.
Hello.
We don't go there anymore.
There he is again. I want to get past you, but I can't. He will just follow you.
Come on.
Get your Ravenholm tunnel dialogue? Nope, she's leaving. Okay. And G-Man will just follow you, just generally. He's just walking along, nosing along. And this last little tunnel has a little extra, and the last little bit of editing in his map. Because normally, as soon as you go into this airlock with Alex, it starts loading the next map, the scrapyard. But for the ending of the video, I had to remove the level load trigger and have Alex just keep busy until G-Man reaches you. And as the final fade out happens, you disconnect. So behind the scenes right there. That's how that map works. So, however, that's not it though. I'll give you a little special extra behind the scenes here. So here we are in the actual map file. Yes, a little hammer preview here with ALLOS. You see here, here's a map. I decompiled the original map from this, just so some things are not correct, like all the funk details are all funked up. So you can see it all. It's the map, yeah. I don't know why I'm trying to say things here. Show you a little extra details. So here's the door that G-Man comes through. Let me just remove the trigger out of the way. See, there's a door right there. His little teleport point. Because he actually starts over here. Here's a trigger zone that affects how far away from him. When you get close to him, the screen starts fading out. You set these timers here. It is set just close enough so that with a regular citizen follow AI, that when he casually stops in front of you, he's still close enough to be able to get you. That's that. And over here you see this little trigger added. Here it's a sequence where he knocks away the barrels. And here's where I clipped away at the wall, try to make him able to see through it better. That's that right there. All the sequences. Then over here, normally this door is just fake, but here I edited it to be real. So over here in the elevator, just zoop going down, a little bit of lag, don't mind that. It's always let me turn off no view. Now a little extra thing here. For this cutscene, like for some reason like the area portals are weird, so I had to turn them all off. Because like there's like 3 in this elevator shaft, so I turned them all off for his cutscene so it would work out well. I could put the chef hat on G-Man here. Here's the warts, and here's the chef hats they normally wear. I could give him one. Go all the way down to the bottom. Here's the next door it comes out of. Here's Alex. And here's the gnome. Placing this thing is very frustrating, because like for some reason it doesn't want to listen to the actual like directional coordinates you give it in Hammer. Like, it is how it looks in Hammer, but in game, you see how it looks actually facing Alex. It's not attached to her, it's just in this one spot. I just don't know why it acts so weird. Like, this scene's just a whole lot of walking in circles to avoid G-Man. Or here, the Raven Tunnel. There's those triggers here, so the door is only open when G-Man's near it. And over here, here's the airlock. This trigger right here. This trigger is specifically for G-Man. It lets him through the airlock, and here's Alex's distraction sequence. Because that's how I did this. It's all an edited map file. There is no coding. I just edit the actual map file for this. And that's how it works. So we're ready to expand this into like a full mod. Well, first off, I have to actually build it in Half-Life 2 for it to be practical. But there'd be a lot of decisions to make. Like for some reason, like for one, like I said before, I probably couldn't stop G-Man from running, unless like there's a very specific set of entities that could be used for that. So G-Man would just be running after you in every map there is. You know, there's like a whole lot of things that have to be figured out. Like how would you do the airboat section with G-Man following you? Just you zoom along the vehicle. Someone suggested to like just remove the airboat as a whole and have you walk through it, but it sounds like a whole big war for attrition right there. And it's like there's also like speedrun tricks too people do, like doing fast launches. You just leave G-Man in the dust. Like I can't account for all of those. I don't know all the speedrun tricks. It'd probably be a lot of work just to prevent players from doing that. So that'd be a whole awkward thing. Like overall, it's not easy to figure this kind of thing out. And well, I don't know, man. Still though, I'll give you at least a small offer right here. If this video gets at least 50 views, if it gets 50 views, I will make 2 more maps to this concept in actual Half-Life 2 this time, and I will release them as a quote-unquote mod. Just like sort of 3 demo maps showcasing this concept. And of course it will include Black Mesa East here. It will include at least 2 other maps as well, maybe 3 depending on how it works out. As well, in the comments, you can give suggestions for how you think certain sequences should work. Should I expand upon it? It's like, how would you do the airboat section like that? Or like, how would I modify sequence events in this map to make it work more smoothly? So yeah, I'll just leave it up to you guys. If you want to see more of this, get 50 views, I'll expand it to a full 3-map-ish demo. And who knows, maybe after that, it'll get to a point where I make it into a whole mod for the whole game. I don't know. You know, it is what it is, though. So I'll just leave it off right there. Alright then. Until the next Archives video, my name is ALLOS, from Sketch Creations, and I will see you then. Thanks for watching.